entering the circle, and we're getting ready for the tip-off, and we'll be underway soon. Starting for New Zealand, it's going to be Dan Buckingham, number 13, Class 3. Sholto Taylor, number 4, Class 2. Mai, 11, Class 2. And Phil Springs, number 2, a Class 1. That rounds out New Zealand's starting 4. For South Africa, number 4, Koos Jacobs, who's a Class 2-5. Victor Bunig, number 3, Class 2. Kat Swainpool, number 6, he's also a Class 2. And number 1 for South Africa is Jared McIntyre, a Class 1. And South Africa has won the tip. They control the ball in their backcourt. Sholto Taylor tries to defend boot tag, almost an over and back call. He's pressured at half court. Outlays. And we've got a penalty. It's a illegal use of hands on number 1, Jared McIntyre. So New Zealand got the turnover, and South Africa reacted with a foul. Sholto Taylor takes it in on a 3-on-1. Should be an easy scoring opportunity here. With a man advantage, New Zealand will take it in for the first goal of the game. And New Zealand draws first blood. Kat Swainpool does the inbound for South Africa. She's looking for the open player. Usually be Koos Jacobs they go into, the tall single-arm amputee, and he hauls it in with that big right hand. Kat Swainpool looking to take it all the way. She's got 2 people to beat. Buckingham on her right, and she takes it in. South Africa levels the score at 1. And the home crowd is loving it as South Africa has pulled even with New Zealand in the early going. And the Kiwis coming right back. Mai going coast to coast. Put New Zealand back up on top, 2-1. Referees for the match. Young Ho Kim from Korea. He gives the ball to Kat Swainpool. And Emma Stewart of Australia is the other official on the court. Victor Bunig pushing ahead of Dan Buckingham. He's going to try to take it all the way. So leaving the court is the call. It's a penalty goal. Referee saying that Buckingham went over before the ball carrier did, which creates a penalty goal. New Zealand bounces the ball to Buckingham, throws a long haymaker to Sholto Taylor. Mai wide open, and she takes it in for another goal. 2 quick scores by Mai, 2 of the 3 New Zealand goals. It's 11 p.m. Auckland time if you're watching it live there. 12 o'clock noon here in Pretoria, South Africa at the University of Pretoria. South Africa, tried to get it in too late. 10 seconds before a player touched it on the court. That results in a 10-second call. It'll be New Zealand ball going the other way and a chance to go up by 2. South Africa back in a key defense. 3 players in the key that's in front of the cones. That's 8 meter wide by 175 deep. And Buckingham takes it right through a hole for an easy score, putting New Zealand up 4-2. New Zealand had a spirited game last night with Japan. Actually was tied at halftime. And if they would have been able to win that game, they would have been in a final. South Africa striking back. Jared McIntyre with the score. Mai has the inbounding duties into Dan Buckingham. He's the main ball handler for New Zealand and the best hands on the court, really. Kat Swainpool stops Buckingham, forces the pass to Sholto Taylor, who's tied up at half court. And they always try to get it back at Buckingham. He's the distributor, and he finds Mai for an easy goal. That's her 3rd goal already in the first going. Fourth goal, rather. Victor Butendag following a block by Cuse Jacobs. Gets to half court and he finds Jared McIntyre. Back to Cuse Jacobs. Cuse with that big right hand. Gives it back to Victor Butendag. He runs the ball most of the time. Kat Swain-Pohl's their other main ball carrier in this lineup. Butendag goes long to Cuse Jacobs. He couldn't get it with that one strong arm. It's a turnover. It'll be New Zealand ball, and we got a substitution. Coming in for New Zealand is number 1, Cameron Leslie, number 7, Rob Hewitt, and number 3, Adam Wakefield. So a much different lineup. Cameron Leslie went down from a Class 3 to a 2-5, so they're able to put some different combinations out there, and that helped New Zealand play Japan in a very tough battle last night that would have got them into the final if they could have pulled out a victory. Cameron Leslie running the ball. And he takes it by a wall of blockers, putting New Zealand up 6-3. They've doubled up the score now. I believe it's 6-3. It is 6-3. The scoreboard had 7-3, but we had it right up here in the booth. Victor Butendag under pressure, and we've got an equipment timeout. Looks like a New Zealand player has lost a tire, and they have a minute or 50 seconds to get it out. Equipment man wants his meter, backs off the South African player. If they can't fix it in less than 1 minute, they will have to substitute or use a timeout. So a tire is an easy change, and he's back into action, and they're looking to inbound. South Africa ball in the front court of New Zealand. They trail 3-6. Cuse Jacobs fields the inbound. Back to Jared McIntyre. He's handling the ball right now, but he usually doesn't. The midpoint lineup here, they can put a lot of different people at the ball handler position. Well, the pass went into the key, was blocked by New Zealand out of bounds, but it'll be South Africa ball. Shot clock down to 24. They basically have 40 seconds to score on each possession. A ball knocked out of bounds by the defense. The shot clock does not move, does not reset. So now South Africa down to 24 seconds to score. New Zealand playing in the key. They have 2 players out of the key. It's a different formation, and as usual, some teams employ this. Into Victor Butendag. Victor Butendag takes it in for the goal, making it 6-4. And the home crowd showing their appreciation here. There's Mai with a long pass to Cameron Leslie. 2 quad amp players running the ball. Rob Hewitt, the low pointer. He takes it in for the goal. Cameron Leslie gets the turnover, and he'll take it in. So New Zealand is really putting it to South Africa in the early going. Doubled up their score once again. Victor Butendag with the ball. He's got blockers, got a 3-on-2, but Mai curves into Jared McIntyre. Sorry, that's Benny Erasmus that Mai blocked in. They've also made a substitution. Also in the game is Aki Anker, 3'5", relatively new player. Cameron Leslie running the court. He's going to pull it back because South Africa had the numbers. Trying to stop Leslie. And he's going to take it in for the goal. 9-5, New Zealand. Cat Swainpool at the inbound, goes to Victor Butenang. And he gets around Cameron Leslie and is pushing in the open, sees Cat Swainpool, goes long to her. My oh my is not going to get her. Have the two female players matching up there, but Cat Swainpool had the frontal position. And we have a contact warning. That's on South Africa. Players cannot make contact with the other team in an advantageous form until the whistle is blown. So that's just a warning. Each team gets one per half. South Africa has used theirs now. Here's Cameron Leslie running the court. My oh my gets the block for him. Cat Swainpool forces the pass long to Rob Hewitt, and he takes it in. Defenses will try to force a lot of passes because these players are all have disability in all four limbs usually. And it's always a risk when you take the ball to air. The safest route is by ground. They'll try to follow blocks. The defense will try to force passes. And, oh, a big hit by Cameron Leslie. And Cat Swainpool got the ball off before coming back down, or else that would have been a backcourt violation. Very headsy play. Good defensive play. 18 seconds remain for South Africa to score. New Zealand getting the numbers back in the key. But Victor Butenang finds the opening on the outside. And that makes it 10-7. South Africa trying to keep it close, putting the pressure on New Zealand now. My oh my. Back to Cameron Leslie, one-on-one, and he should get in and score. That's his fourth goal of the game. Victor Butenang, who's been the big scorer for South Africa. He's got a 2-on-1 with Cat Swainpool. 3-on-1 with a New Zealand trailer. They should score here. A pass to Aki Anker, class 3-5, who reeled it in for the goal. New Zealand bounce to Cameron Leslie. He's looking to get blocker in front of him. Aki Anker comes in with the hand, and he got the foul call. He came in hard. He was looking for that held ball, and instead he got some arm, and Emma Stewart has rung him up for a foul. That's a reaching foul at 2:12 in the first period, and he'll be in for a minute or until New Zealand scores a goal, which is more likely, and that's a goal release. The player is released from the penalty box if they score. And we have a substitution for New Zealand. Coming back into the game is Dan Buckingham, number 13, and Shalto Taylor, number 4. Out of the game is Cameron Leslie and Maya Mai, the two quad amp players, taking a lot of trunk off the floor, but putting in a lot of experience with Shalto Taylor and Dan Buckingham. Both of those players were on the 2004 Paralympic gold medal team that won in Athens. And Rob Hewitt, low pointer, takes it down, winds down the clock. And he didn't score, and a South African player anticipated the score and came out of the penalty box before the score, which resulted in a technical foul. Really not a smart play. So the goal does not count. It'll be New Zealand ball in the corner where the ball was. And South Africa Aki Anker will be in for now 2 releases, or until that minute goes up from the original penalty. They did count the goal. Well, we have a bit of a confusion. It looked like South Africa took the ball, and it should have been New Zealand ball with the man in the box. So I believe we had a coach's timeout, and we're going to get this confusion started out. We have Peter Martin from the New Zealand team is at the table. He immediately recognized it, after us, of course, up here in the booth. And Peter's explaining to them it's a penalty. Referee number 1 is Emma Stewart. He's explaining his case to her. They'll go back. It was a procedural matter, so they should get it sorted out. Okay, now we've got it sorted out, and it's like we had originally said. New Zealand ball, and Aki Anchor is in the box now for 2 goal releases. And number 7, Rob Hewitt scores. Aki Anchor stays in the box now because that was the second penalty, was a technical. His first was the reaching. But it is South Africa ball. They're shorthanded now, 3-on-4. Creates a big defensive opportunity for the Wheel Blacks. The Wheel Blacks' highest Paralympic finish, as I mentioned, was the gold medal in Athens in 2004. And they had a second place finish at the World Championships in 2006. It was a home World Championship for them at Christchurch, New Zealand. Since then, though, they've had some retirements, some injuries. The team has changed quite a bit. At Beijing, they finished 5th at the Paralympics. And in the 2012 games, they did not qualify. They were basically ousted in these zonal championships in 2011. And we have another discrepancy. I'm pretty sure it relates to the penalty. The penalty box has got their hands raised. They are trying to inform them that there is a second penalty that he should still be in, I'm sure. My name is Terry Vineyard, and I'll be covering the bronze medal game. Also, we'll have Dave Woods in the booth later. He will be covering the championship game between Australia and Japan. And that'll be coming up at 2 o'clock South Africa time, Pretoria, live from the University of Pretoria. This will be 1 a.m. Auckland time. It'll be 12 noon GMT. And in America, that'll be about 4 a.m. in the morning, maybe $6 a.m. if you're watching there, Australian time. For the Australian folks back home, in Australia, I think that'll be about 11 p.m. your time. As the inbound, Buckingham takes it right in. Another goal. Now the player's in. This was usually a very simple play. We have some refs that are doing some training here and had a little bit of confusion. Buckingham picks up the loose ball, and New Zealand's going to score. So this has been a devastating last minute for the South Africans. The penalty kind of triggered things, the shorthandedness. They've played some really spirited games, South Africa. They played a great game against basically Japan's bench yesterday. They have not won a game at the tournament. So 4 teams are playing in this Asia Oceania tournament. Shalto Taylor picks up the loose ball, and it looks like Aki Anchor has reached in and got a second foul of the game. He's a 3.5 player, number 7. And he has to, as a 3.5, you have to make a lot of things happen, and he's trying to do just that. and he reached in for the ball and drew the foul. So he's back in the box. He spent a lot of time there in the last 2 minutes. Remember, he had the technical foul going out of the box too, so he's had 3 fouls in the last 2 minutes of this quarter. Shelto Taylor takes it in for the score. Aki Anchor is out, and he goes right into a New Zealand player. He's going to be called for a contact warning. I believe that's their second, and it's a turnover. It's a turnover. And New Zealand takes it in. And they're pretty much doubling up on South Africa. It's 16-8. Outscoring them 2-1 most of the way the first quarter. Kat Swainpool inbounds. Benny Erasmus, following Benny Erasmus's block. And here goes Kat on the outside. Buckingham plays a hit on her. She gets it out to Aki Anchor. Aki Anchor takes the ball now. Shelton Taylor puts a hit on it. Buckingham is there. Good switching defense. It looks like Buckingham hit it out, I believe. And it's going to be South Africa ball, but the clock has gone down to 16 seconds. They'll have 16 seconds now to get a score, or it'll be a turnover of a clock violation. The score clock is 40 seconds when it's originally set. Similar to the shot clock in basketball, but it's called a score clock, often referred to as a shot clock also. Aki Anchor with the ball, follows a block, trying to take it past the low pointer. And the low pointer, using the sideline, cuts him off, and we have an equipment. Now, if this equipment is on South Africa, and it looks like the clock ran down. Okay. Okay, the shot clock did expire. 40-second clock did expire, and it's New Zealand ball. And then the equipment was given for the South African player. Subs are coming on, and it's pretty much a wholesale sub for South Africa. Clyde Howland giving chase. He's fresh into the game. Jared McIntyre back in. Kat Swainpool remains in the game. And making his first appearance is number 13, Johnny Sutil. Johnny Sutil breaking Buckingham free. 6 seconds left, time winding down. Buckingham trying to use all the time, and he does a great job of it, leaving 1.5 seconds left to the first period of play. Kat Swainpool looking to get it in. Not much of an opportunity to score here. It's covered well. The clock will expire, and that will end the first period of play with the New Zealand Wheel Blacks 17, South Africa Wheel Box 8. And we'll be back for the second period of play at the University of Pretoria, South Africa.